Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger. So, with no more obstacles standing on our way, we are now gonna be taking on Gordor one more time, and finally stop his ultimate plan. These stairs will take us to the temple summit. We finally cornered Gordor, the Guard Squad's boss. Ditto, are you ready for this? Well, as ready as I ever will be. Alright, let's see how well we do this time. Let's go! And as we reach the summit, look what he's brought! Yeah! You seem to be dumbfounded by the sight of these legendary Pokemon. You were Ditto, was it? Forgive me for not sending you invitations. But you're my honored guests for my solo performance. Yeah, I bet we are. Welcome, young Rangers. Welcome to the greatest performance of my life. Now witness it to your heart's content from your specially reserved seats. Yeah, especially when we're not sitting down. Have a good look at this machine. It is the ultimate styler that I created for this glorious moment. Not even Hastings could devise a styler this powerful. The instant I play any melody on the styler, its vibrations will take over the free will of any Pokemon. That means any Pokemon will become my slave to do exactly my bidding. No Pokemon can define my styler. Not even the legendary Pokemon that are said to be virtually impossible to capture. Yeah, like these three right here. I will use my styler to command the three legendary Pokemon to unleash their fury upon Fiore. I will make them create rainstorms, thunderstorms, and firestorms. Which is exactly what Billy said to us previously. And when these three calamities strike a Fiore, it won't be you Rangers quelling them. It will be us, the Gordor Squad. It will be an easy matter if we use the abilities of the Pokemon we have. Now, consider this. What will the people of Fiore call the Gordor Squad after we stop the calamities? Yeah, I wonder. We will be considered heroes. In the coming new age, the Gordor Squad will replace you Rangers. It will be the dawning of a new era in which the Gordor Squad will forge the new world order as heroes. You get to be a witness to the Gordor Squad's greatest moment of glory. Rejoice in it! Yeah. That's horrible. How can you be so cruel and misguided? Rob Pokemon of their free will? That's completely different from capturing. You're just torturing Pokemon into doing something against their will. It's just ugly violence. Yeah, but it is. Such feisty spirit. Why do you accuse me of making Pokemon suffer? What would you like to see if your porcelain mind suffer? On second thought, it's not worth it. It's not worth my time capturing worthless Pokemon like them. Oh boy. Yeah, he's definitely got those two mad. Neither plus or nor mine and are worthless. They do seem to be adorable and cute at least. I'll give you that. But enough. Let's get on with the show. Yep, it's time. First, Raikou. Go on. Go absolutely wild. Fill the skies above Fiore with the shards of lightning you summon. Yep, now our first opponent is Raikou. Now, as we get into this fight, now, Raikou is still going to be a challenge. Now, as soon as the fight starts, Raikou will immediately summon these bolts of these bolts of lightning, as the Raikou is just moving around. Meaning, just utilize your capture loops alone is impossible. So definitely utilize at least Dafe in order for you to be able to get Raikou. But however, that right you saw can happen. Yeah, Raikou will utilize an attack so that he will immediately get himself away from you. So yeah, just be very careful. Just be very careful about that. But as everyone, with that said, that is one legendary Pokemon done. What? You insolent! You won't be lucky twice. Suicune, go! Let loose every bit of the savagery in your heart! Drown Fiore under the rainstorms you call forth! Now as for Suicune, I would say he's definitely similar to when we faced off against the Gengars. Now, what I mean by that is that Suicune will also clone himself too. Now, unlike the Gengars, yeah, all three of the Suicunes, including the clones, will utilize their Aurora Beams. Yeah, so just be very careful about that. Then, as soon as you are done with the clones, definitely utilize Grovyle so then you can try to get Suicune caught, so that you can try your best to be able to get him too. And with that, that is 2 legendaries done. What compels you to meddle so much in my affairs? Don't you realize it's futile? However many Pokemon you release, I can easily recapture them. So long as I have his power styler. Besides, I still have the most reliable of the lot, Entei. Yeah, indeed you do. Entei, the legendary Pokemon. The towering flames Entei erupts will burn all Fiore down to the ground. I see no need to recall Raikou and Suicune. You may regret that, especially what Plusley Minded are doing right there. Yeah, they're just constantly jumping on the controls. What are you doing? Stop that! Don't touch that! Yay. That's essentially what he gets for calling them worthless. You blasted Pokemon! Get off the keyboard! Look! The star is smoking! Yep. The worthless Pokemon that he called worthless just destroyed his Super Styler. Yeah, how do you like that? But however, in the process of doing so, has made Entei completely mad. And now, look what he's doing. Ditto! Entei's attacking Gordor! He surely is. Stop it, Entei! I'm your master! Well, not anymore. He certainly is in trouble now. Ditto, rescue her! Ditto, rescue Gordor! Well, because I at least tried to. And now, it's time to once again face off against Entei. But however, he's definitely more tougher when we faced off against him last time. And as you can see, as soon as the fight starts, Entei will surround himself by all of those a bunch of fires. And if you want to be able to capture him properly, then you have to utilize your capture loops in order for you to be able to get rid of those fires. But however, as soon as you do, this happens. Yeah, he will immediately start to get more aggressive with his attacks. And he will also get in a lot more faster too. And he will also move around a hell of a lot more faster too. And as you saw, I accidentally utilized my discharge at the wrong timing for that. Yeah, I should have utilized discharge a hell of a lot better there. Yeah, I probably should have utilized it as soon as Entei did that. Yeah, with those, eruptions there, so... So I guess all I left to this fight are my second Donphan, my Espeon, Gengar, and possibly the Medicham. And also Minun again, if I can actually get his discharge back up, and if I can get Minun's discharge back up again. But I'm not so sure if that's going to be possible now, considering that Entei is going to constantly is going to keep going up on those eruptions entirely. Oh god, no, please, come on, Entei, you just stay still. Okay, wow, Entei, you are, Entei literally just stood there and just let me get him. Yeah, what an idiot. And with that, we're done. Oh, and look who's here, Spencer. Later, you were safe. You were safe after all. Spencer, I don't know how to explain it, but we rescued Gordor in spite of him being the enemy to Pokemon and us. And speaking of Gordor, where is he? That's okay. You did the right thing. To do the best we can to help people in need. That's what a ranger does. It surely is indeedy. And hello, ever two again. Yeah, those two showed up again just so that all three of them can leave together. Oh no! Later, we have to chase and capture Gordor. Capture a human? Yeah, Solana. That isn't a ranger's. That isn't a ranger's job. He'll come to understand what he did was absolutely wrong. We have to put our faith in that. I'm more concerned about you two and Plusle and Minun. You're not hurt, are you? Yeah, I say we're just about fine. Don't worry about me. Joel arrived on the scene right after you left. Yeah, now that explains why Spencer's here now. So we got to play superheroes. We got to play superheroes together, just like old times, I guess. Okay, superhero leader. Solana reporting in our latest mission. Ditto was simply awe-inspiring. He came up with a performance that surpassed all of his achievements so far. Yeah, I suppose we did. And our Plusle and Minun were the keys to forwarding Gordor's vast scheme. Yeah, they certainly were indeed. Plusle, Minun, thank you. Okay, team, let's head back to the ranger base. We need to show the professor that we're okay before he gets too anxious. Yeah, we better make sure we do that. And speaking of which, here he is. Here is Hastings. And now here's where Gordor shows himself again. Who would have thought it possible? Gordor was the Gowok squad's boss. Yep, he certainly is indeed. I'm utterly mystified. What drove you to do such a thing? Yeah, what exactly drove him into doing that? When we were young, we worked side by side on our studies. You and I, we were comrades. So we were comrades in arms. Yeah, what exactly happened? Comrades in arms? Keep your sappy sentimentality out of this. Because of you, my research was always considered second rate. In time, you became the chief of technology for the Ranger Union. Even while the results of my studies went without ever seeing the light of day. I prepared over many long years in hopes of one day proving to the world that I was the better of us. But my dream was just that. A dream broken by your cherished rangers. Yep, it certainly was. Yep, it certainly was broken by us. Hastings, laugh if you want. Laugh all you want at me. Always the pathetic loser to you. Yeah. Gordor, why don't you just fold up at the Go Rock Squad and shoo your followers away? Then come join me at our lab. Your gifted abilities are sure to be of a benefit to people. Well, Gordor, will you join us? Hastings, do you seriously think I could do that? You haven't changed. You haven't changed much at all. Yeah, I suppose not. But he's going to decline. Gordor, where do you intend to go? There will always be a place for you in our lab. And here we are. Professor, it's a mission complete. Yep, it certainly is indeed. When it comes right down to it, the stylists you make aren't the greatest, Professor Hastings. Don't tell me that you couldn't stand to wait anymore, she came here alone. But there's nothing to worry about, sir. Our young rangers have saved Fiore from calamity. Well, are you exhausted? Pleasantly minded? Feeling hungry? Yeah, I bet this one day will be. Both of you, Ditto and Solana, your faces are filthy with grim, and your uniforms are falling apart. Are they? Ditto, it reminds me of the day you first arrived at Fall City. You were pale and wearing that crisp new uniform. It really didn't suit you. It didn't really suit you at all. But now it's different. You look at the part completely. Ditto, you've toughened up. Now I hope you keep going on as a ranger with a pride in your heart always. Yeah, we most certainly will. Okay, team, let's return to our ranger base. Yeah, and then as soon as we exit the temple, look who is here to cheer us on. Ink, hello, ranger. Thank you. I'm ever so grateful. We owe it all to you. I was so worried about you. I came straight over from town. I knew you'd do it for us. Yep. Hey there, Ditto. You're great. The greatest, Steven. Big guy, you're so cool. Big girl, you're so fabulous. It's me, Merv. I came to get you. Hey, over here. Please look. Grah, do you remember me now? I bailed out from the Go Rock Squad. Yeah, that guy who's always saying "remember me" also showed up here. But anyways, everyone, with that said, that right there is indeed the end of the main story for Pokemon Ranger. So, as for the first game of its kind, I would say this game definitely did a good job on show who these characters are, and I would say now, even though I said previously, this game now the other two games definitely made some major improvements over this one. But I'd still say what we went through in this one, yeah, I would still say it is still good for what it is. I really liked other characters. I really do enjoy the music for this one too. And even though we finished up the main story. But however, there is still indeed post game to actually look forward to. So yeah, let's just say we are not quite done with this game yet. And trust me, there is still plenty of stuff for us to do within the post game. Although the post game itself won't be too long. Yeah, and you'll definitely see what that post game is, starting with the next part. And so to then, I'll see you guys next time.